Who's at the door? A thump, thump, thump. Will we see another dump? After Bitcoin's $1,200 dump yesterday, it seems as though we've entered some sort of ascending channel, guys, but is this actually the formation of an actual bear flag? We'll take a look at that, and if it does break to the downside, could Bitcoin be heading all the way down to this level down here? Or will we be seeing Bitcoin actually retest and come all the way up and try to get back above 16,000 US dollars? As I'm recording this video, we're actually right now hovering at about 15,600 US dollars. And as well, we're just hours away from yet another weekly close, one of the best weeks that we've had in years. So we're going to be taking a look at that as well. And guys, veteran investors saying every major investment bank will own Bitcoin or something like it. Let's jump in. Welcome back, milky mommies, dastardly daddies, and silly Susies. Guys, we've got a lot to be jumping into this webisode because Bitcoin is in a precarious position. And in my opinion, we're actually forming some interesting structure on these charts that will determine if we're going to enter a much longer downtrend over the next week or so, guys. Ultimately, again, the trend is up. Bitcoin is mega bullish, but we do want to look on these smaller time frames for a pattern because we just had a macro pattern breakout, and now we're looking to form yet another macro structure. But so far, all we have are some hints and clues on these smaller 1 and 4 hour time frames of patterns forming. But what will be the next daily/weekly pattern to be forming on these charts? Is it just me or is it getting sticky in here, guys? So as well, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get updated when we post absolutely groundbreaking, life-changing videos like this. And as well, if you're new to the channel, always, guys, remember to enter for these ledgers and remember to stay tuned for the end of the webisode. Ledgers, equivalent BTC, or access to T4 for subscribers and people that comment only. Huge! And if you guys are interested in trading and you have experience and you want to support the channel, make sure to check out some of these limited time, absolutely massive deposit bonuses on Bybit. All the information is in the comments and description below. Mega doinkage! So guys, we can start here on this daily chart. We're actually bouncing on this, yet again, the 6-month channel here, currently right at this level, we bounced about 14.9, right? So we wicked all the way down to about 14.3 so far yesterday. But what we really want to watch out here for is if this is the beginning of a more prolonged, 1 to 2 week downtrend, because ultimately, guys, this weekly chart is on the up and up. This is going to keep going up over, on a month-to-month basis. I expect each monthly candle to basically be higher and higher from here on out. This is absolutely amazing setup. But what we're waiting for on these smaller time frames is definitely some sort of a confirmation. So, for example, on this daily chart, remember we had this 2.5 month symmetrical triangle that broke to the upside. That is a more macro pattern. But what we have to look out for now on these smaller time frames is the formation of yet another one of those macro patterns, which, again, it's still too early for that to have formed, considering that we just broke out of a macro pattern. But are there any clues actually showing that there is a new macro pattern forming? So for one, we're going to be looking on that chart right here for that. But one thing I do want to point out here on this 4-hour chart, it does look as though there might actually be some bullish divergence. It's kind of I think it's kind of disputable, but we have this RSI here trending lower, but then we have these highs and the corresponding level of price with this on the RSI is actually trending up. So that's one thing I do see here, and I don't necessarily see any bearish divergence. So we're seeing bullish divergence, and in fact there was bullish divergence right before this pump as well. You can see that here and here, October 25th all the way to November 4th, you saw that here trending on the 4-hour, and obviously there was a massive pump here. So what was this trending? Basically 13,800, and we had a massive break to about 16,000. So that's a huge breakout. That's extremely significant, and the 4-hour chart was giving us clues of that, right? That divergence I just talked about here. But as of right now, I do as well, again, I'm still seeing some bullish divergence, which is confusing me a little bit, considering there are some other things on this 1-hour chart showing that I think we might actually be entering more of a downtrend. So we broke out of this seeming descending triangle here on this 1-hour chart, and we had that dump from about 15.5 all the way down to 14.3, but really held around 14.7 and 14.8. And now we've just been kind of trading in this upward channel, this rising channel here, but kind of does look like a bear flag, right? We have this kind of pulled up here after a dump. You have this kind of upward trending channel, and just based on everything we're seeing, again, this makes a lot of sense to me that it could be a bear flag. But as well, I'm not really seeing any bearish divergences on this chart either. And guys, as well, it looks as though that bearish divergence that I mentioned actually is starting to play out, where we got a very nice bump so far, but we really want to actually get back above 15.8. before we can attempt to actually continue this rally. Looking, though, fairly good so far. Again, that that bullish divergence is really coming through, very similar to that bullish divergence that we talked about over the last week or so. So again, it looks as though Bitcoin is going to have another attempt at about 15.8. But again, we really need to be careful because we want to make sure we don't actually get caught in this move, because this is a very precarious position, and I'm not confident until we break 15.8. And both of these charts, we actually held super key levels. You can see this channel right there held, and then on this chart, we came exactly back down to this level, which is what we talked about 2 days ago. And really, for this weekly candle, that's exactly what we want anyway. We're in an amazing position. We don't have to go any higher, and we could even go a fair bit lower, and this would still be an amazing weekly candle. We could still go like $1,000 below where we're currently at as I'm recording, and this would still be a really good weekly candle. So in terms of this chart, this still looks really good. The daily chart actually looks pretty good as well, but these smaller time frames I'm keeping an eye on, and I'm definitely just going to keep it up. We are keeping an eye on this entire cryptocurrency market cap, excluding Bitcoin, so the entire altcoin market cap. Again, guys, personally think we are very close to blast off out of this range, out of like the $160-170 billion market cap for everything not including Bitcoin. And then for everything including Bitcoin, it also looks amazing with this seeming ascending triangle about the 400, currently about 440-ish roughly is what the market cap is. Unbelievable, and this is huge, guys. A veteran investor, Bill Miller, saying every major investment bank will own Bitcoin or something like it. And this really comes to surprise of nobody if you guys have been in the crypto space for even the last few months, considering everything we've heard from these institutions, from these major investment banks and institutions, right? This is literally the trend that is just continuing. And if we would apply the technical analysis phrase of the trend is your friend until the end, the trend of this happening also seems to be our friend, and this does not look like it is going to end anytime soon, right? Looks absolutely really positive here. Mutual fund legend Bill Miller told CNBC Friday that the risks of Bitcoin going to zero are lower than they've ever been before, and predicted more institutional investment in the cryptocurrency. Guys, let's be real. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I don't think Bitcoin will ever go to $0. Obviously, I personally think it's very unlikely that we'll ever see a 4-digit Bitcoin at this point at the rate things are going right now. Again, that could change maybe in the future. Cryptocurrency as a whole could go to $0, I guess. But again, I think that is extremely unlikely. In fact, I think it's more likely that I'm going to be the next world hot dog champion than it is that Bitcoin will go to zero, guys. Bitcoin's story is very easy. It's supply and demand, he said. Bitcoin supply is growing around 2.5% a year, and the demand is growing way faster than that. When he is managing the Leg Mansion Capital Management Value Trust Fund, he beat the S&P 500 for 15 years. He's now the chief investment officer of Miller Value Partners, and in December of 2017, he revealed that his hedge fund had half of its investments in Bitcoin. So he's actually been in the game a little bit longer than some of these institutional players. But believe it or not, again, this trend, why would it end, in my opinion, right? On Friday, he warned of inflation coming back with the Federal Reserve gunning the money supply and future fiscal relief coming from Congress. So if we follow, for example, MicroStrategy, Square, PayPal, all getting into Bitcoin, he said every major investment bank and high net worth firm will eventually have exposure to Bitcoin or commodities like gold at some point. He also added that Bitcoin has performed well over the past 3, 5, and 10-year periods. He serves on the investment committee for the endowment of Baltimore-based Johns Hopkins University, and he says here everybody is going to want to own at least some Bitcoin, guys, because of its asymmetric properties. The returns on this thing are insane. And again, I don't even have to preach to you guys why investments or institutions are getting into Bitcoin. It's happening. Everyone understands it. Everyone's excited about it. Everyone's extremely optimistic about it. But it really is just an absolutely beautiful thing to see. All right, let's pick the winner. Oh, guys, make sure to smash that like there if you haven't already. But let's pick the winner. Okay, go down here, get YouTube comments. 212 YouTube comments, and let's see who the winner is. Remember to shoot me an email. Will Jensen, thanks. Awesome, brother. Make sure to shoot me an email. And huge as well, guys. Always make sure to leave your comment and make sure you are subscribed, because the giveaways are for subscribers. And as well, some massive bonuses below. If you are an experienced trader and you want to support the channel only, make sure to check those out below.